Hey guys, this is HerO from DifferenceInSkill. Going to bring you guys a quick deck profile of my Spike Brothers deck. It is in English. It does not have any Extra Booster 3 cards yet, because I'll be waiting for the English release. I will be going through what cards I will be taking out once Extra Booster 3 comes out. And, yeah, so let's get through it. We have one Mecha Trainer. Conroe clone, extremely good. I would not recommend at all whatsoever the new starter that's coming out in Extra Booster 3. It's actually a piece of shit. I don't even know why it was made. So, yeah, just stick with Mecha Trainer. You know, instead of getting Dudley Dan, get a Wonder Boy or something. You know, too many 8K or 7K boosters are never a bad thing. But for now, it's used to get Dudley Dan. It's used to get Wonder Boy. So, Mecha Trainer, good card. Triggers, the only thing we can have for heal, for draw, a crit. Pretty straightforward, pretty standard. I will not be running the stand once it comes out in Extra Booster 3 because I did some testing and I have posted my findings on my blog. So if you guys want to check that out, I will be putting a link in the description below and as to why I don't run the stand, or I will not run the stand. I run 3 Dudley Dan. I think 2 is not enough. I think 4 is too many. I think 3 is just fine. I would rather... the reason why I don't run 4 is because I would rather not get stuck riding one because I run too many, or I would rather not get stuck calling one as a rearguard booster. I would rather just use a 6K in the form of Cyclone Blitz than put this in a rearguard, behind a rearguard. So, yeah, I think 3 is just fine. It's enough to be able to survive or be able to get another one if you play against Kagero or something, but it's not 2, where if you jam his check 1, you're down to 1 left. So, 3 Cyclone Blitz, they're just fillers right now. They'll be coming out once Extra Booster 3 comes out. I'll be going through more details on that later. 4 Perfect Guards. Limit Break Clans are pretty good. Plus 5k power is pretty good. I don't want to die if that happens. 4 Perfect Guards. 4 Wonder Boy AK boosters. You know, pretty self-explanatory. 2 Panzer Gale. I like them right now. I'm not sure if I'll be running these or Fierce General Zachary's for Extra Booster 3, but yeah, they're working pretty well right now. Whoopsie daisy. 4 High Speed Bracky. Really like this card. 9k boost. 9k booster, 9k attacker, and Soul Blast 1 gains 5k. It's really good. Can tag out. Part of the winning image of the deck. You know, tagging out, calling back stuff back in. So High Speed Bracky really helps you out with that. So as for those, 4 Treasure Black Panther. I do not like this card, especially in this deck where you want your field to be constantly changing because you will be tagging out and calling stuff back in. It's too static for me. It just stays there and I have to intercept with it to get rid of it, and it's just a 5k intercept, so I don't really like this card. It's just here because I do have 6k boosters, and basically there's nothing else I can run, or at least nothing good that I can run, so these are just here because they have to be. Once Extra Booster 3 comes out with no 6k boosters, and being able to call 2 things, you know, I want empty spots, I want stuff that tags out so I can call other stuff back into it. It's spots, so I will not be running these. Grade 3s, I have 3 Seafried. 2 is not enough in my opinion, 4 is too many, 3 is just right. You just want it to ride the Vanguard and that's it. Any extras can be used for Dudley Dan's effect, for fodder for that, or fodder for Perfect Guards. 2 Skydiver. I'm not a particular fan of this card. I just like the fact that it's an 11k rearguard, and I rarely use its effect. So yeah, it's just an 11k rearguard and just a filler grade 3 to be honest. And 4 Juggernaut Maximum. I love this card. It's fucking amazing. Soul Blast 1, and it gains 5k power, hits for 16, and then tags out. It's really, really awesome. I will be running 4 once Extra Booster 3 comes out, and along with 4 Demonic Lord Emperor Dudleys. And yeah, that's the deck, so I'm just going to go over real quick what's coming out once Extra Booster 3 hits. 3 Dans are coming out. 3 Cyclone Blitz are coming out. For grade 1s, I'll be running probably Medical Managers over Dudley Daisies. I think, sorry, whoops, I hit my camera. I think Dudley Daisy is only good in a really... I think it's not as good as I thought it was first, because I kind of related, kind of Dudley Douglas and Dudley Daisy together, kind of being, they have the same effect. If one's good, then the other must be good. The reason why Dudley Douglas is better than Dudley Daisy is because once you hit limit break, your field should pretty much be set to go. You should have your boosters ready to go, and the only things that should be changing should be your rear guards at the front. Because of that, Dudley Douglas is actually good because it gets called. It gets called more commonly in front of rear guard circle because you have Juggernaut or Bracky tagging out or Reckless Express tagging out, and then you can call that. Rarely will you have a situation where you're going to be using Dudley Emperor's effect to be calling boosters, because your boosters should already be set. So for that reason, I think Medical Manager is actually a better choice for the Dudley Daisy, because Medical Manager can provide that more breathing room in terms of your soul blasting needs compared to what you actually have to be able to use. That Soul Charge one actually gives you a lot of breathing room, especially with cards such as Reckless Express coming out that are, Juggernaut and Bracky clones, except that it's grade 1, but it can hit 12k by itself, and behind a Wonder Boy, that's a 20k. And against the 10k guard, against the 10k Vanguard, that's going to be a lot of cards that you're going to be forcing out of the hand. So Reckless Express, with it, I think I'll be taking out the Dans and the Cyclone Blitzes for Medical Managers and Reckless Express. So that's what's coming out, and that's what's going in. For grade 2s, I'm not sure yet if these are coming out, but like I said, Panthers are coming out. The Panthers are coming out for Dudley Douglas. Card when you call it in the battle phase, so when you call it with Demonic Lord, you can counterblast 1 and it negates 5k. Now it can work really well in a pinch, especially for some reason you're out of soul, or if you really want that field presence where you'd rather sacrifice something like Counterblast in order to be able to attack for high numbers still, but keep the card on the field in case you need to intercept with it. So Dudley Douglas does that, and it's an okay alternative, situationally better than Bracky in some cases. But for the most part, you're going to be willing to call a Bracky or a Juggernaut. But just in case you really want that 5k intercept, you have an awkward number of Counterblast because you healed or something. Douglas is a really good use of that Counterblast in order to hit for the high numbers and 21k behind a 7k booster, while still being able to intercept with it next turn, compared to Bracky or Juggernaut, that tag out. So that's what's coming in for the Panthers for Dudley Douglas. For the Panzer Gales, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the Panzer Gales or I'm going to be playing into Fierce General Zachary's. Fierce General Zachary is a 9k grade 2. When it hits, you can Soul Blast 1, draw a card, and then it tags out to the deck. So it's really, really nice. If it wasn't an on-hit effect, I would jizz my pants, because that card would be so good. It would just be hitting, it would just be attacking, Soul Blast, return, draw a card, and then call something with Demonic Lord Emperor. It would be so good. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So, yeah, it has to hit, which is what's, kind of turning me off, whether I want to, play it or not. It kind of does provide, kind of pressures my opponent into guarding. But at the same time, if I have a generally full field and I call a Zachary and it doesn't hit, then I'll only be able to call, one thing with Demonic Lord. And that's not worth 2 cards in my hand. So I don't want to be relying on Zachary in order to be able to have that spot available for Dudley Emperor. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be keeping these or putting in 2 Zacharys. I guess only through testing I'll be able to see if it's worth it or not. But for now, I think I'll be keeping the Panzer Gales. And I don't know, I'll see. I'll be testing 2 Zachary, I guess, once that comes out. But yeah, those cards will definitely be coming out. As for these cards, 3 Siegfried, Dudley Emperor outranks Siegfried in the Vanguard spot 110%, so you obviously don't want this card anymore. And 2 Skydivers. Skydivers really have no place anymore once Extra Booster 3 comes out. Some people are like, oh, but the stand is so good. What if you stand your Skydiver and then you attack, and then you can put it in and then call something that will attack unboosted for bad numbers and they only need to guard at 5k. Yeah, it's just not worth it. Skydiver's coming out 100%. I ran 9 grade 3s in this deck. post Extra Booster 3, it'll only be running 8, 4 Juggernauts and 4 Demonic Lords. So one of these grade 3s will be a grade 1. Either Reckless Express or Medical Manager, so one of those. So, you know, these are Dudley Emperors, and this will be a grade 1. So yeah, those are the changes that I'll be making once Extra Booster 3 comes out. And yeah, that's the deck. I will be making an update video once Extra Booster 3 does come out. That comes out on July 7th. So hopefully I'll be able to get my cards that I need as soon as possible. And yeah, hope you like this video, guys. Oh, one more thing. I have just a little thing that annoys me every time I see someone play Spike Brothers. Let's say this is your field. Okay. Let's say this is your field. You have Siegfried, boosted by Dudley Dan. You have Juggernaut and Wonder Boy, and you have an empty spot here. Naturally, you would want this spot to be taken up by something that General Siegfried checks. So naturally, you attack for 16, you Soul Blast, you return Juggernaut to the deck. You boost with Dudley Dan, but what do you get? Most people get the Juggernaut back. However, if you want to check something with Siegfried, why would you take a grade 3 out of the deck? Juggernaut, with its effect, boosted by Wonder Boy, hits for 24k. If instead you called this card boosted, with its effect, boosted by Wonder Boy, hits 22k. What's the difference in magic numbers? There isn't one. 22k, 24k require the same amount of guarding on both an 11 and a 10k Vanguard. So you call out a grade 2, that means you have one more grade 3 in your deck that you can potentially drive check, bingo, and you call it. So yeah, that's just something that kind of, you know, ticks me off about some people. I mean, obviously, if this were Cyclone Blitz, for example, and they had an 11k Vanguard, this hits for 20. This hits for 20. Sorry, 20. And that's fucking gross. 20 on 11k Vanguard, obviously not worth it. It's much more worth it to call a Juggernaut maximum. They can hit for 22. So yeah, I mean, it depends on the situation. I mean, you're not always going to have an empty spot here to call something with Siegfried or want to call something with Siegfried. But, you know, if you're in a spot where you want to depend on Siegfried's calling ability, then keep as many grade 3s in your deck as possible in order to increase your chances of getting that grade 3. So yeah, that's the deck. And hope you guys enjoyed that. Be putting links on my blog in the description below, and we're at 412 subscribers. It's amazing. I love you guys so much. Thank you for everything, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. HerO's out.